What's good, y'all, and
Oh my
welcome back
God.
to another episode of the Hurls and Smallz show. As always, I'm here with my man Smallz. How you doing?
Well, we just recorded this and I said I was doing great, but I did the arm drop great last time and I know I was just delayed, man. I know I
Yeah,
look stupid
as
again.
always,
But
as
whatever. I'm
always.
I'm doing good. We safe over here. I hope you stay safe the next couple of days. If y'all watching this, keep my boy Hurl in your thoughts
hmm
down there in Florida.
If there's not a
Keep
Thursday episode, it's because my power went out. Most of you know I live in Florida. We have a hurricane coming probably tomorrow or the next day, and it just became a Category 5 before we started recording. So if there's no Thursday episode, it's probably because I have no power. Or Friday episode, actually. Friday episode is because I have no power. So just a heads up. But
we're gonna hope he's safe though. Before we get
yeah,
into anything,
yep.
I would just like to address I'm not a Chiefs fan. And I'm not a big Mahomes fan. I just think this jersey's cool and it was half off. But if y'all watching this, give us a subscription. We're almost to 50 subscribers. Leave us a comment. The first couple episodes, we would say what we wanted y'all to leave a comment on. That's kind of lame. Just go ahead. We read all the comments and we react with y'all. So just post your thoughts down there, and then leave us a like as always. We appreciate it. The hell out of y'all.
All right. You want to start us off, Smalls?
Last episode, for anybody that doesn't watch both, I gave some bold predictions. My first one was Trey Sermon, 100 yards total and a touchdown. And Earl was big time hating on that because he a Trey Sermon hater from his Niner days. And we'll get to the Colts game, but he didn't look phenomenal. He ended with 63 total yards and a touchdown, so I was only 37 off, but he should have had a way better game than what he did. My second one was the Browns lose, and it was Deshaun's last game. And the Browns got absolutely handed to him.
But it's not Deshaun's last game.
And it seems like it's because of the higher-ups and not Stefanski, which is just so stupid because, man, Deshaun sucks. And on my third and last one, which is one that you hated on, but I was a little bit confident in, was Tyler Huntley for 300 yards. His career high was 315. He was 18 for 31 for 203 and an interception. So he got them the win, but he wasn't phenomenal. So I was 0 for 3 this week. We'll pick it back up next week, hopefully.
Yeah, anybody could have told you that, but yeah.
Okay.
Anybody could have told you that. But
moving on to your overreactions.
As always, with the reviews, I got some overreactions for you. I got a few for you today, about 4 of them. I don't think I'll do all these. I'm not really too much of a fan of all these, but we'll start off light. 2 divisions that haven't looked as good as people thought they would prior to the season. The AFC North and the NFC West. You got the Bengals at 1-4, the Browns being the Browns. Pittsburgh's coming off 2 back-to-back losses, and the Ravens are looking good as of late, 3 straight wins after starting 0-2. And the NFC West, you got the Seahawks losing back-to-back games, a terrible loss to the Giants, which I said would be an upset. But I did pick them. Shut up. We'll move on. We'll get there when we get there. The Niners obviously not looking good. The Rams being injured and the Cardinals being up and down. I really don't know what to think about the Cardinals right now. But as I said, these 2 divisions had a lot of high hopes coming into the season. But only one team from each division will make the playoffs.
So one team from the NFC West and one team from the AFC North will make the playoffs.
Whether it's the Ravens, Bengals, or Steelers, and whether it's the Niners or Seahawks, probably, because I don't know if the Rams get in or the Cardinals.
So I will say the Ravens are an absolute lock to make the playoffs. I want to say the Bengals can make it, but they dug themselves such a hole. I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers keep falling. With Justin Fields, I hope they don't because I love the guy, but I could see the AFC North. I disagree about the NFC West, though. I think that the Niners will figure themselves out eventually, hopefully, for your sake. Wouldn't really hurt my feelings if they didn't, but I think the Seahawks are overall a good team and they will make the playoffs. So if the NFC West is a failure, it's because of your Niners.
Wow. So now that you say that, so you have more faith in the Seahawks than the Niners?
As of right now, correct.
We play the Seahawks division this Thursday, right?
The division I'm most worried about is the NFC East. The Eagles and Cowboys were both supposed to be good.
We'll get there.
You got one for them?
You know what? Now that you mention them, I don't have something specifically about the Eagles or Cowboys, but The New York Giants will not finish last in the NFC East. So either the Cowboys or Eagles will finish last, because it looks like the Commanders aren't finishing anywhere near last. So the Giants will not be last in the NFC East.
I want to agree with this. I really like Brian Dable. I think if there's any inkling of their mind that they want to fire him, they're a stupid organization, because he is just brilliant. I think the Eagles are too good of an offense to not make the playoffs. And I think the Cowboys, they're so injured, dude. The Cowboys are just so I think that the Giants end up in last place in that division, but if it would be the Cowboys, after I was so high on the Cowboys last week, if it would be the Cowboys, I wouldn't be super surprised. But I do think the Commanders steal this division.
So if they were to finish third or better, you think it would be the Cowboys that are below them, not the Eagles or the Commanders? Okay. Moving on. Your Minnesota Vikings moved on to 5-0 this past weekend. The Vikings have a better chance of being in the Super Bowl than finishing second in the NFC North.
Yes.
You agree?
I do believe so.
Okay.
I think the Packers are going to figure themselves. I think that's the best division in football, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think the Packers are a very good team. The Lions were your Super Bowl pick. The Bears have figured it out, and that defense is incredible. It's going to be a tough sled for the Vikings once they start playing in division. They just beat the Jets this week, but Rodgers looked bad. It was Darnold's worst week of the season, so I hope he figures that back out. I don't know, actually. I don't know, because the Lions are so good. Give me yes. Just so I'm gonna be optimistic. Give me a yes.
You say you like their odds to be in the Super Bowl rather than finishing second in the division.
They're gonna finish first in their division.
Okay. I can't hate on it. All right, this is probably my hottest one of today's show. Earlier, I said the best. I had a segment about the rookie quarterbacks earlier in the season, saying the best one hasn't played yet. But the three that have played are looking good as of late. So, all three rookie quarterbacks will make the playoffs. The Bears get in, the Commanders get in, and Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos get into the playoffs.
The Commanders will get in for sure. I think the Bears division is too tough for them to make the playoffs. I don't think there's a world where all four teams make it, and I personally like the Packers more than them. Bo Nix, will get to them later in the episode, but I'll just say no. I don't have anything bad to say about him. He's been looking really good lately, but I don't think they're a playoff team quite yet.
So it's an overreaction, you think?
I think it's an overreaction, but if you would have told me going into the season that all three had a chance to make the playoffs, I would have thought you were crazy, because they're all looking really good, man.
Okay. I have one more.
Going back to your segment though, have you changed? You think that the best player has played so far, or do you still think it's Penix or
let me clear the air.
They're all overreactions.
My overreactions aren't what I think. So I wasn't saying I actually thought I wasn't saying I actually thought that the best quarterback hadn't played yet. I think he's already played, and I think in due time it'll be Caleb. But for now, it looks like it's Jaden. But like I said, my overreactions aren't what I think. It's just overreactions, just trying to see where your head's at. But my last one, not too hot. We're cooling down from the last one. The Jets will not make the playoffs unless they trade for Devontae Adams.
The Jets will not make the playoffs, period.
Okay. Simple as that.
Devontae Adams is one of the greatest receivers that I've seen in my lifetime. His route running is so pristine. His hands are unbelievable. His speed at his age is still great. But Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers that we want to see, especially in this system. He just threw 22 balls to Garrett Wilson last week, which, former Buckeye, I love the guy, but that's your whole offense. Breece Hall's looked bad. Braylon Allen isn't getting the ball enough. Alan Lazard is getting the ball too much. Tyler Conklin got the ball too much. I don't think the offense is good enough to withstand this AFC with how talented it is, and the defense is just not as good as they were supposed to be either. So I would say no playoffs.
Breece Hall, man. My fantasy team is hurting because of you. But yeah, those are all the overreactions I got. I got that one all rookie quarterbacks. I seen something similar on Twitter, and I kind of just moved it around because it wasn't specifically that. But yeah, those are my overreactions this week. How do you feel about them? You thought they were kind of hot?
I like them. They were like right perfect. The first couple were like okay, and then the second they were all pretty
all right.
Warm temperature, I would say.
Okay. And before we get into the review for the week, you got a new segment.
We're introducing a new segment. Last week, I would text journalists my little updates on my quarterback rankings.
Last year.
Did I say last week? Last year, sorry. Quarterbacks are my favorite position in football. They're the whole reason people watch. You want to see touchdowns.
Basic.
I don't care. I do not care at all. But he suggested we bring this segment to the pod, and it's my top 10 quarterbacks. And the way I did it is it's got nothing to do with projections. It's got very little to do with what you've done in the past. For Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen and guys of that status, like they're going to get a little bit of an edge just because of who they are, obviously. But it's mostly off of this season. So week by week, I got an average of where I think they were. And it won't be strictly off of average because numbers can't tell you everything. But it's my top 10 from this season.
And again, it's Smallz' top 10, so we don't give a damn what you think. If you disagree, we don't care. Go ahead.
But leave a comment because we like to see your thoughts.
We want to discuss. Mean about it. But yeah, don't hate on Smallz because you don't agree with his top 10. But we can have discussions. Go ahead though.
Like if you think Kirk Cousins is a top 10 quarterback and I got him at 11, don't come to my house and burn it down just because of that.
I might be coming to your house and burn it down if he's not on this list. But go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you want me to start at 1 or start at 10?
At 10.
At 10, we got one of the greatest Ohio State quarterbacks of all time, CJ Stroud.
I like it. If this were coming into the season, CJ would have definitely been a lot higher, but the Texans offense hasn't looked great this season. CJ hasn't been amazing this season. So I don't hate CJ being at 10. I don't hate it.
And especially when Mixon went down, the whole offense went down with him, which shows that the passing attack isn't quite as strong as we wanted it to be.
Yeah. And,
at number 9,
I just got to see who's above before I can say anything else because I don't know who else is above him. Go ahead.
At number 9, if we would have done this week 2, week 3, he would have probably been top 4. Unfortunately, he's had a couple. Hell no.
Oh, okay.
I got Baker Mayfield at 9.
Really?
And I could see where you would want a guy like Kirk or a guy like Dak here at 9 or 10. But at 9 and 10, it's like 9 through 12 as a conversation, and then I think 1 through 8 are just up there.
I was saying really because I thought Baker would honestly be a little higher, to be honest. I thought Baker would have been 6 or 7. But
his game against the Broncos was just pitiful, dude. Like he started so strong. You came on here and said he was your MVP pick, and that
was an overreaction.
I get it, but that week alone just brought him down a lot. Yeah. I could see where you would have him literally anywhere on this list other than your top 3. He's just a guy that's a little bit hard to place right now. As the season goes on, he'll be more easy to understand. But if you had him 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, anywhere in there, I get it. But I personally have him at 9.
I don't hate it.
At 8, we have the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm wearing his jersey. He just hasn't had a great start to the season, but he's gonna figure it out, and it's Pat Mahomes.
It's Pat Mahomes, yeah, exactly. It's Pat Mahomes. But again, this is primarily based off of this season. We know if we're just talking in general, Patrick Mahomes is the undisputed number 1, but it's just this season.
One ahead of him, which is kind of crazy. 5 years ago, if you would have said this guy was better than Pat Mahomes, you would have thought you had to bump your head somewhere.
I know who this is.
He ain't right back. I got Geno Smith.
Yep. Geno has been balling.
He's been incredible.
Has been balling, man. That game that he played against the Lions, the Seahawks offense has been looking great. They're coming off of a bad loss, but their offenses look great, and Geno's been playing very well, so I cannot hate on this one. And that was what? He's 7?
7. And the loss wasn't his fault either, so.
I like it.
They didn't put a lot of points on the board, but he was still good. At 6, I got your boy. Not a lot to say about him. I got Brock Purdy. His offense has been, what would you say? Disappointing?
The offense, like, around him? Yeah, I would say so. But
he's really impressed me this season with his perseverance, I guess, or ability to scramble behind the backfield. Like he's still not in the pocket, but like he hasn't crossed the line of scrimmage, and he's just maneuvering. His elusiveness has been really good this season while still looking for a receiver downfield.
You know, I'm a Purdy lover, but I have some things to say about him. Not some too great things to say about him. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
This week kind of brought him down. He was a little bit
higher.
Yeah,
if you would have said made this after week 3 or week 4, I think he's definitely had a case to be higher. But I can't hate on you for having him 6.
6, yep. He just loves his tip interceptions, dude.
He'll hit a guy. So many of them, and it's not even just this game. Even last year, he gets so many of them. But go ahead.
At number 5. I really wanted to have him higher. The first one I put together, I just penciled him in at number 1 to be petty, but I was like, can't really do that. I got Sam Darnold. He's been great.
Yeah, he has. This game being probably his worst game of the season.
Easily.
No, other than last week, he's been phenomenal. So I can't hate on you for having Sam in the top 5. He definitely deserves it.
The second half versus the Packers, and then this week versus the Jets brought him down. Otherwise, he was probably pretty easily top 3 through the first 2 weeks, and he's still easily in the MVP race.
I was just gonna say he's probably still the MVP. If the season were to end today, I think he's probably still the MVP. Him and Jaden Daniels, but I think he's still the MVP.
At number 4, I have a guy who, if you told me if I don't have him top 3, don't even bring the list, but he was absolutely abysmal yesterday, dude. Absolutely horrific. I got Josh Allen.
And I cannot be mad at you, man. The Josh Allen MVP train. It hasn't left the station yet. You know, I haven't fully jumped off of it yet, but man, it's looking rough. It's looking rough.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So you picked Joe Burrow and you switched to Josh Allen. Did you ever switch back, or are you still on Josh Allen? I'm still with Josh Allen. But continue. I don't want to say anything because he could be on the list. Go ahead. Continue. Joe Burrow?
Continue.
At number 3, I have a rookie.
Rightfully so.
There's a conversation where he can be the first rookie since Jim Brown to win MVP. He's just been that electric, and he's been that good. I got Jaden Daniels. 2nd overall pick. He's completely changed that organization in one season. It's crazy. I forget who it was. It was one of their linemen, and they had like the soundbite of it on the bench. He's like, "I've never had this much fun playing for this team before." And you can see it. You can see it. The energy he's bringing to that team. I'm just Joe. You know Joe. He's a Commanders fan. But even like Jaden Daniels. Don't do that to my boy Joe. Jaden Daniels even has him watching football. He was watching the game yesterday. So Jaden has brought some life to that team and the fans and that organization. And yeah, shout out to Jaden Daniels. I can't be mad at you for having him at 3. And I'm glad that they are, because man, are the Wizards not bringing them anything. You're damn right they aren't. You're damn right they aren't. At number 2, I got an Ohio native, Joe Burrow. I'm glad you had him on the list, because yes, the Bengals are 1-4, but Joe Burrow has been balling. Joe Burrow has been balling. If you take off week 1, he might be number 1. And that's what I was gonna say, but I was like, you know what? He might still be on the list, so let me not say anything. I'm so glad you had Joe Burrow here, because like I said, if you looked at the record and didn't watch any games, you'd probably say, man, Joe Burrow's probably stinking it up. But Joe Burrow is playing his ass off, especially that game that they had against the Ravens this past weekend. Joe Burrow's doing his thing. These losses are not because of him. That defense is some trash. But at number 1, I'm sure I got my second favorite player in football, my favorite quarterback in football, the best player in football, Lamar Jackson. I don't know if he's the best player in football, but Lamar Jackson at number 1. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if he's number 1, but you know, they're looking good as of late. 3 wins in a row, so I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it. And the first 2 losses weren't his fault. So I won't say anything about it. I think these last 3 games he has something like 11 total touchdowns and 0 interceptions or something like that. I'm just really glad you had Joe Burrow at number 2. So run through the list for us again real quick. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, Geno Smith, Pat Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud. Did you have honorable mentions or no? Like people who Josh Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, Joe Flacco, if he keeps playing, he's been really good.
All right. We can move on.
No, Joe Flacco is in the top 10. He only played two games.
The one game, yeah.
And he keeps it up though. That man is balling.
He is. I thought he was gonna pull it out in Jacksonville, but we can move on to our predictions from last week. Go ahead.
We'll just go over this real quick. Our pick'ems. It's our week 5 of football. I'm up 3-1 on you. We had 1 week where we tied. If you're doing overall, I'm up 42-39 on you. I've won 7 games this week. You had 5.
That's an awful. That's awful. That is awful. What the hell? How did I get so many things wrong? What were my 5 right ones? The Commanders, the Bears,
the Vikings, the Bears, Commanders, the Ravens, and the Broncos.
Holy shit. Right, yeah, because we both picked the Saints. We picked the Steelers. Of course, I picked the Niners. Oh, yeah, I took the upset Rams. I took the Bills.
Yep.
Oh, I did take the Patriots. Damn, that's a bad week from me. Damn, that's a bad week.
I didn't have a good week either. You were just bad.
No, I was bad. We'll be better. But man, that's an awful week.
Ready to get into our reviews?
We can. Starting off with the early slate game. The Jets and Vikings in London. The Vikings hold on and win 23-17. Go ahead.
I'd be lying if I said I woke up before halftime.
I see. This is I was up, but for some reason I just wasn't able to watch the game. So I just I wasn't able to watch. So I didn't really see anything of this game. I just watched back the highlights, but I wasn't able to watch this game in real time.
I woke up as CJ Ham was running his touchdown in, and I said, CJ Ham. And I went and made my coffee, saw Aaron Jones was out. But before we get into this game, I would just like to say the Gladiator NFL commercial, I think is so cool, dude. Where they got Josh Allen handing it off to the other dude. And I think it's very cool. And then as well, the unnecessary roughness penalties from week to week are absolutely BS. I think it was Tank Bigsby, or it was a backup running back. No, it was Charbonnet. Charbonnet got fined $45,000 for unnecessary roughness for just running.
So are some of the roughing the passer. Those two, but some of the roughing the passer. I forget who it was this week, but he got hit in the face mask, and then they threw the flag. It's like, I get it. We're trying to protect the quarterbacks. You say they can't go low, and now they can't go high either. It just I don't
pull
get
their flag.
Yeah. I don't get it. But if you got anything to say on this game,
as I said,
go ahead. Yep.
Aaron Jones was out when I woke up. He had a hip injury. He missed the whole second half. He absolutely killed my fantasy team. But
I was gonna say, I heard you were trying to trade for Ty Chandler.
We're not gonna talk about that.
I heard you. I heard you trying to trade for Ty Chandler. Yeah, and then Aaron Jones ended up getting hurt. So it's like,
But Ty Chandler sucks, dude. Every snap he got, he didn't
play well. But you were trying to trade for Aaron Jones' backup. It looks like you need him now. But
Sauce Gardner got hit by his teammate, was checked for a concussion, went back to the locker room. Hopefully he'll be all right. Aaron Rodgers officially eclipsed 60,000 passing yards. That's kind of cool. The Vikings were just blitzing the hell out of him the entire game. When Sauce went down, Brandon Echols came in for him, and Brandon Echols is a really good backup. I think he should get more playing time just overall. But Garrett Wilson, as I said, 22 targets for 13 receptions. Stephon Gilmore could just not guard him. When they finally put Gilmore over on they put Gilmore on Mike Williams for the final play of the game, and Gilmore picked him off.
What happened,
But Gilmore could just not guard Garrett, dude. 101 yards for a touchdown. He just played buddy ball the whole game. When they were coming back in that late third, early fourth quarter, straight buddy ball. Sam Darnold, you got to be better, brother. You were okay in the first quarter, but this was your worst game of the season so far. And you got carried by your defense. Andrew Van Ginkel is that guy.
His name is mentioned every week. Every week.
It does deservedly so.
Yeah.
He's up there with he's not Fred Warner, but he's one of the best linebackers so far this season. And that's not crazy to see. He's in the Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
You're damn right he's not Fred Warner, because there's only one Fred Warner. But I was going to have an overreaction about Aaron Rodgers. So I'll just ask you this now. Is Aaron Rodgers washed? Is the Aaron Rodgers of old? Is he gone? He's cooked? It's done for Aaron Rodgers.
He's not cooked. He's still a mid-tier quarterback. He's just 40 years old, coming off of an Achilles tear. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's sad to see. He's not cooked, but the offensive coordinator, whether it's Saleh calling plays or whoever else they got over there, Anthony Hackett, the Broncos,
Nathaniel Hackett.
Nathaniel Hackett,
yeah, Broncos
coordinator for Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
bum.
Yeah, man,
they're bad offense.
They definitely do look bad. I was saying before that I didn't want to see Devontae Adams here. I still don't. But, man, they need something to bring some life to this offense because they're bad. That running game has been bad for the past couple of weeks. Breece Hall, what happened? What happened? He's been god-awful the past couple of weeks. God-awful. I don't know what happened, what transpired over there. It hasn't been better. He hasn't. That run game has been non-existent. I think there was a stat where Aaron Rodgers threw 20 straight times. That should never happen. That should never happen. A 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers should not be throwing 54 times. 54 times. That's crazy. So Breece Hall, you got to be better. Braylon Allen, you got to be better. Nathaniel Hackett, you got to be better. Because my goodness, this offense is bad. Bad.
This was Ivan Pace's first game back. And anybody who's been watching knows I love that guy. Mm-hmm. And he killed Rodgers at one point, and Rodgers looked at him like, "Who the hell just hit me?" And then he stood up and cramped immediately and like hit the ground. And I was like, "Oh no!" He was just cramping. No, he's okay. Yeah. But the rain came in like the mid-third of this game, and there was just so many slips after that. I was worried for like serious injuries because turf is scary in rain. Yeah. But we can move on to ass waxing here.
Oh yeah, the Bears whooping on the Panthers, 36-10. The Bears improved to 3-2. Caleb Williams, man. I was saying it last week by week. His progression, it's crazy to like see it in real time, to see how good he's getting. Yeah. Like just game by game. His in the pocket, like his pocket presence for how young he is phenomenal. It's so good. It's so good. Early on, he didn't really want to stick in the pocket. He wanted to go and play as if he was still in college and go make that crazy play where he's running around and just flinging it and someone's coming down with it and it's a touchdown and it's all over at Twitter. But he's just standing tall in the pocket and making plays. And when he does have to, roll out the pocket, he's still, making plays outside the pocket. It's really crazy to see how much better he's gotten from week 1 to week 5. It's literally not the same player at all. No. The improvement is crazy to see.
I think a lot of it has to do with like him going to the coaches and saying like, have more faith in me. I want to open the playbook, and you can't just keep. You just got to have faith in your quarterback, your number 1 overall pick, when he's got this much talent. What I was worried about was his chemistry with DJ Moore. It just hadn't been good yet. And this game, he had 2 30-yard touchdowns to DJ Moore. DJ Moore was looking
when you incredible. Play me and you have DJ Moore, of course, he just figures it out with DJ Moore. But yeah.
This is the type of game where, as the season goes on, the bad teams, we're just going to talk less and less about you. This game and the next game, we're going to probably change the format of our podcast a little bit so that the episodes aren't quite as long and we can talk about more interesting stuff. But we're not there yet, so we will still talk about this game. Andy Dalton, you suck. I don't care what anybody says. There's no reason to have bench Bryce Young. Cool, Andy Dalton had 1 game with Deontay Johnson. I don't care. Bryce Young came into this game for garbage time to keep Andy Dalton safe. Dave Canales went to the fucking podium and said that
Andy's our guy. Yeah.
But Bryce Young came in and put a spark into this offense that wasn't there the first 3 quarters, and that's your number 1 overall pick that you traded from the Bears. You gave them Caleb Williams. You gave them DJ Moore. You gave them the lottery over there for this one guy, and you're not playing him. You should be ashamed in yourselves. And then you get. I'm not gonna get my blood boiling again over Bryce Young for like the 4th time in our 10th. This is our 10th episode. Congratulations, brother.
We made it.
But the only other thing I want to say about this game is shout out Jaquan Brisker. That man is a dog.
Yeah.
He hit Tommy Trimble so hard, Trimble, he fumbled, and then he just laid there like he was dead.
Yeah, he kind of like popped up and looked at the ball, and then he just fell back down, and it was like, back down. Yeah. But DeAndre Swift, keeping up what he did last week. He looks a lot better this game. And Chuba Hubbard is playing his ass off, man. He's playing his ass off. He's looking better and better
every week.
But hopefully he can do it when Bryce Young is back in the. When Bryce Young is back.
Yeah, if Bryce Young gets back in the
when
rotation.
he gets back into the lineup.
Shout out Roshan Johnson, 2 touchdowns. That's my guy. Moving on, rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels. They was saying wait till he comes and plays the Browns defense. Well, he came and he did whatever he wanted to that Browns defense. Myles Garrett, this was only his second time in his career without a single stat. Jaden Daniels is that guy.
You've been playing your ass off. Love you. I love what you've been doing. Proud of you. You know, I'm happy to see the success. The Commanders are 4-1. But that's not who I'm here to talk about. Deshaun Watson, please. What are the Browns doing? Kevin Stefanski goes to the podium. He's asked about it. And no, Deshaun Watson's our guy. We have no plan of benching him. We're not putting in Jameis. What does Deshaun have to do? How bad does he have to be for them to be like, you know what, maybe it is time we put in Jameis? I don't get what they see. I really think it is what I've been saying. It's just we paid him all this money. He has to play. We have to just see it through. We have to keep playing him until he shows some signs of life, some signs of his Houston Texan form. But it does not look like it's in there anymore. I don't know what it's going to take for them to realize that. But please, for the love of God, if you want a chance of making the playoffs, making some noise, you have to put in Jameis Winston. Please.
Did you see him ask Stefanski? They were like, is it the front office that's making you play Deshaun? Mm-hmm. It was like, they don't make me do anything, but I do go to them and blah, blah, blah. I make my decisions with them. He pretty much said without saying, yeah, they're telling me to start Deshaun because, man, Deshaun sucks. I don't know if you're a Browns fan, what you can watch from this offense and say, I'm happy with that because Jerome Ford has been so disappointing to me.
Absolutely.
Deontay Foreman, I've never been a fan of. They have no run game. They have no quarterback to get guys like Jerry Jeudy or Elijah Moore the ball. Mm-hmm. Please, for the love of God, move Amari Cooper. Send them over there to anywhere at this point.
And then Nick Chubb. I love you, Nick Chubb. You're one of the top 3 running backs in the league when you're healthy. Don't rush back. Don't rush back. Don't feel like you need to, play for this team. If Deshaun Watson is still starting, please just recover. Just stay on the sideline, get healthy, and we'll see you next season if anything, if they decide to roll with Deshaun for the rest of the season. But if Jameis comes in, then maybe you should step in. But if it's Deshaun Watson, I promise you there's no point in playing because it won't change. Things will not change. Deshaun Watson is not any good. My goodness, we've been saying it all season. All season.
On the flip side, I just got a couple things I want to say about the Commanders real quick. Brian Robinson scored a touchdown at one point, and he ran over to the mascot. And I looked at the screen, and it's that big-ass pig, and he just gave him a big bear hug.
His name's like Major Tuddy or something like that.
Major Tuddy. Dude, I was laughing uncontrollably hard at that. Just stupid. Emmanuel Forbes played 4 snaps this game. He was their high pick last year. 4 snaps is... disappointing, very disappointing. I want to say they drafted him over Christian Gonzalez. I don't know for certain, but he was up there with other top corners, and this is who you drafted. But Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu have
played their asses off.
Completely changed that defense.
Yep.
Yes. Completely changed that defense. They have 14 starters this season that are new from last season. 14.
They're both linebackers, and they combined for 4 sacks this past game. 4 sacks from 2 linebackers. You would think they're defensive ends or something. But
yeah,
Jaden Daniels, man, it's really ridiculous to see the culture change over there, man. And now Terry McLaurin is getting more involved. He had that one touchdown. Jaden's stats would have looked better, but Terry dropped that touchdown.
Oh yeah.
But man, but Jaden, man, I'm so happy for what I'm seeing. Him as a runner, him as a passer, him rolling out the pocket and still making plays.
Knowing he can Diami Brown was right here.
Man, shout out Jaden Daniels. Shout out the Commanders. The Commanders are 4-1. 4-1. The Washington Commanders.
My favorite thing about them, the commentators mentioned at one point, is that they play their offense so fast that they don't give the defense time to make substitutions.
To breathe, to do anything.
Well, it locks them into the formation that they're in because they can't sub off players. So unless the Commanders sub out, the other team can't sub out, and it's an advantage.
Next week they got the Ravens. If you would have asked me earlier or before the season, the Ravens mopped the floor with them. But now this is a toss. This is a toss
game of the week.
Like, my goodness, man, I'm so happy to see what he's done to that Commanders franchise, and I'm rooting for them, man. I hope they can get into the playoffs and make some noise, unless it's against the Niners. But I hope they
even
can
if they don't though. This is year one.
Year one, exactly. And he's looking so damn good. You would think he's a 5-year vet, but go ahead.
Shout out Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He's the only thing that makes me enjoy watching the Browns. Other than that, keep them off my screen.
Absolutely.
Moving on.
I would be completely honest. If I wasn't looking at the picture right here on my other monitor, I would not be able to tell you what jerseys were worn in this game. This game did not get a second of watch time from me. I got
a whole page.
I did not tune into this game. I had no desire to tune into this game. Dolphins, Patriots. Dolphins win 15-10. Smallz, you can have the floor.
So coming into this game, Kendrick Bourne got activated. He only ended up playing 16 snaps, which sucks.
Former Niner, man. I love Kendrick Bourne. I love him. After we played them, he dapped up Kyle Shanahan, and they love each other, their connection. He was like, just thank you for everything, man. And that just hit me, man. Kendrick Bourne is a baller. I love him, man. I love him.
And I hope he can get healthy, and I hope he can help this offense. But 16 snaps, you're not going to do much. Odell Beckham also got activated. He had 2 targets in this game. I know you're not an Odell fan, but I love the guy. I hope he gets some more reps as the season goes on. Going in, my favorite player in this game was Jabril Peppers. Our whole time I've been saying how much I love the guy. He was out, and news came out this morning that while he was out, apparently he was assaulting. And he was arrested this morning or yesterday morning for assault and battery and apparently cocaine use. I'm not going to get into anything. If you want to read the story, just look him up. I really hope what he's claiming is true and that he's innocent, but who knows. Back to the football game. Ramondre Stevenson came into the game as the backup. Jared Mayo said that they were benching him because of his fumbles. He had 12 carries to Antonio Gibson's 6. He was still
I heard that. Put him on my bench in fantasy. I look at the box score and he hooped. Like
A-Chain got rocked several times in this game. He ended up exiting the game, I want to say, with like a concussion, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was something else upset with him too, because he was just getting destroyed. Mostert came in, and going into this week, as I have been saying, I was high on Tyler Huntley, and I'm still high on Tyler Huntley, but Mike McDaniel is doing way too much, man. You have to simplify the offense when you got a guy who's been there for 3 weeks. You have to simplify the offense, and he just doesn't want to do that, and I can't understand it.
Mike McDaniel, what I will say, for as good of an offensive mind as he is, his play calling has never been amazing. It's never been amazing. It's always looked great because you had a quarterback in Tua who could get the ball to his playmakers, but even then, his offense never looked great. It was always some questionable calls from him. It's like, why are you throwing a screen right here, Mike McDaniel? Like, what's that play call? There always has been some questionable things with his play call, and I know some Dolphin fans who definitely get upset with the way he calls plays sometimes.
Rightfully so. I don't know how you can look at Huntley and look at your weapons and say, yeah, we're just gonna keep running the ball over and over and over again. Like it's not working. You can trust the guy. He's showing you, like, he didn't have a great game, but he's not bad enough to treat him like he's Skylar Thompson. And it upsets me. I don't understand it. But they were down 10-6, right? 4th and 1. You're down with 1 yard to go, and he kicks the field goal. Another play I don't fully understand. I guess you trust your defense more, and they ended up pulling the game out. Their go-ahead touchdown was to Alec Ingold,
the fullback.
Which should say a lot about this game. But last thing I want to say is Jalen Polk. They were down 15-10. He caught the ball in the end zone for the touchdown. Heel was out of bounds, apparently.
Not apparently. It was. I saw it. It was out of bounds.
They called timeout. They come out of the timeout. 4th and 10. Out of a timeout, and Hunter Henry gets a false start. Makes it 4th and 15. Pretty much impossible to get, and they don't get it. Dolphins get the ball with 41 seconds left. The Dolphins get the ball with like a minute 56 or something like that. Run their 3 plays. Dolphins call all their Patriots call all the timeouts, do nothing with it. Game is over. Javon Holland broke a bone in his hand. Hopefully he heals up. We can move on.
Thank you.
Mike McDaniel, simplify the playbook. Use Tyler Huntley. Colts at Jags.
Colts at Jags. Man.
Fun game.
It definitely was a fun game, man. It definitely was a fun game, and I loved what I saw from Trevor Lawrence in this game. I loved what I saw from him. He wasn't locking onto one guy. He was going through his progressions. He was making the right reads. Man, Trevor, if there was any way to bounce back and shut me up about how I've been talking about the Jags, Trevor Lawrence did that. He played his ass off. And Trevor, these past couple of games, he hasn't been bad. The box score may say it looked like it was bad, but watching him play, he wasn't terrible. But this past weekend,
last week I can agree with
last
that.
week, yeah. But this past week, he balled his ass off. And what I will say, Tank Bigsby, give him the damn ball. Give him the ball. Just give him the ball.
Hate to say it.
Please, because he is playing his ass off. Every time I look, it's like, oh, Tank had himself a decent game. Oh, Tank had another decent. Just give him the ball. Please. I guess it's just time for him to be the feature back in Jacksonville. And I never thought I would have been saying that when you have a guy like Travis Etienne. But Tank Bigsby is playing his ass off. 13 carries for 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. You gotta keep on rolling with Tank. You have to just see what you have in him.
Yes.
But like I said, Trevor played his ass off. Doug Peterson saves himself for another week. Maybe it'll be next week. Maybe it'll be next week. They lose next week and he's gone. But for now, it looks like he's safe. But this is a pretty good win for the Jags. That defense still is a little suspect, I will say, because I flipped off of this game, flipped back, and who was it? Alec Pierce was running in for a touchdown because it was 27-34. Jags were up. Colts
get 20-34.
No, but yeah, it was then it was 20.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 27-34 at this point in the game. I look away for 2 seconds. I had another game on my monitor. I look back. And the Colts are sprinting into the end zone. I'm like, what the hell just happened? The game says 34-34. What just happened? This Jags defense, my goodness, they are god awful.
Right before that, right?
Yep.
He throws it to Alec Pierce, and it's like, well, that's an incompletion. And Alec Pierce makes a nutty catch. The very next play, 40 like 6-yarder to Alec Pierce. It's like he was on the goal line. He almost had a 46-yard touchdown before his 65-yard touchdown. Yeah. He went nuts in the fourth quarter. They punched it in with Sermon, but
and then that touchdown to Mo Ali Cox. Mo Ali Cox just got up there and just snagged it.
He's huge.
Just snagged it. Just my goodness, man. Joe Flacco. I had the overreaction. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. It was one of these weeks. And I said Joe Flacco should be the guy whether AR was healthy or not. And I'm standing on that. On that. Whether he's healthy or not, Joe Flacco gives you the best chance to win, man. He gives you the best chance to win. Just roll with it, man. Just roll with it. Just roll. All you can just tell us AR isn't healthy enough to play. No one will question it. Just say AR had a setback and just see what you got in Joe, man. Just see what you got in Joe. See what he can do for this team. Granted, he didn't get the win, but he played his ass off and gave his team a chance. Man.
Yes. Shout out Brian Thomas. This rookie receiver class is unbelievable.
I was just talking to Suge about it. Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, Marvin Harrison. There's just four guys right there that could potentially be number ones in this league one day. It doesn't make any sense. It's crazy.
And I think guys like Jalen Polk, Xavier Legette,
Ricky
McCaffrey has been really...
Luke McCaffrey, yeah. What?
Anyways, a big play in this game that I don't know if people really recognize was right before half. Trayvon Walker forced a fumble, and
he's been looking really good too.
3 sacks this game. He was incredible, and people aren't talking about him enough. I said it at one of our first episodes. He's one of the least talked about first picks in a long time.
And early on in his career, rightfully so. Well,
he was drafted as a prospect.
Yeah, you watched him in his first season, and you were like, this was the number 1 overall pick. But now, a few years in, you're looking and you can see why he was. You can see why they took the chance on him, and he is playing his ass off right now.
But he forced that fumble, and Josh Hines Allen picked it up, and they got a field goal with like I think it was 6 seconds left before half,
and they just
and they
kicked
won
it.
by a
Yeah,
field
they just
goal.
kicked it. Yeah.
Yeah, a big play.
Now, this definitely was a much needed win for the Jags. I still don't think they're going to be doing much of anything, but, they got a quality win here. So maybe they can build something off of it, stack a couple wins together, maybe. But
quality win?
A quality win, yeah. The Colts are solid. This is a quality win. For a team that was 0-4, any win is a quality win. For any team,
no more winless teams in football.
Exactly. So any win is a quality win for the Jags. It was a very good game. Not much defense being played, but shout out to Trevor Lawrence for the way he played. And Doug Peterson, your seat got a little cooler based off of this win, but
it went from 100 degrees to 95.
Right.
Trey Sermon, stop dancing. Stop dancing. You're going to piss me off back there.
We can move on to Bills at Texans. Texans get the win, move to 4-1, 23-20 win over the Bills. Go ahead.
James Cook started this game very good. Cam Akers had a walk-in touchdown.
He set the tone early. Sorry to cut you off, but James Cook started so good.
Nico Collins had his 67-yard touchdown, and I think the very next drive he got hurt, which really sucks because he's just so good. But Stephon Diggs stepped up. He led this team, but he was their leader in receiving yards. It sucks that his relationship with Josh Allen it just seems like there's nothing there anymore.
Yeah, all they did was just dap up after the game, and there's like that screenshot of him giving Josh the side eye or whatever. But yeah.
But the Bills' first half offense was just non-existent. In the early second half, Josh Allen kind of came alive and he brought them back, but like he was weak, dude.
9 for 30. 9 for 30. That's awful.
Yes.
That's awful. In basketball, that's awful. But as a quarterback, 9 for 30? That is disgusting. And for all the MVP talk, go ahead.
His stats are skewed too because he had a curl to Keon Coleman and it was like a 7-yard curl, and Keon just spun off of it and took it for like a 46-yard touchdown.
Yeah,
and it was just a nasty game.
And for the Texans winning this game, this is a game they should have put away so much earlier than it should not have come down to the wire. That Bills offense was just god awful to begin the game, so the Texans should have ran away with this thing a lot earlier. Another game where the Texans offense can't put it together for the entire 4 quarters, but they got the win, and that's all that matters. But man, I thought
they were going to choke it away, man.
I did too. I said that the Bills should go out and get Davante Adams, and my goodness, please go get Davante Adams. Josh, it looked fun when you were doing it with this wide receiver group that was just thrown together, a bunch of random guys. It looked like, you're just going to have to be Superman for the entire season. But please, go get the number 1 guy. Go get a solidified guy on the outside that you can trust. Go get Davante Adams because they need it. They need it.
One point in the early 4th quarter, Josh Allen's head smacked against the ground.
And they said it was like an ankle injury or something. Yeah.
He hit it.
Yeah.
But he went to the tent. They punt the ball. CJ throws a pick up 3 with like 8 minutes left. Stupid throw, CJ. And Trubisky checks in, hands the ball off. Josh Allen looks at they got the ball back and just comes sprinting like, okay, man. It got to the end, right? And I texted you because you were streaming at this point the Niners game. And
this is the game I had on my other monitor, yeah.
It got to the point it was 20-20. I think CJ threw a pick or something. Or no, it was intentional grounding. CJ got called for intentional grounding. The Bills got the ball back with 41 seconds. 41 seconds, you throw the ball. Cool. 2nd down, you throw the ball. What are you doing? 3rd down, you throw the ball. 3 incompletes, and the Texans get the ball back.
The time management was awful. At worst, if you're the Bills, you say, you know what? We cut our losses. We'll just take it overtime.
You go to overtime.
Like, how do you let the Texans get the ball back in regulation? I don't get it. I
genuinely don't understand the decision. And they punted. It was an okay punt, but CJ needed 1 first down, and Kaimi Fairbairn ended up kicking a 59-yarder to win the game. Yeah. That is, if I was a Bills fan, I would be so heated. Absolutely. I would want McDermott fired. I don't think he will be, but
No,
It's an
I know what you mean.
unacceptable loss.
Yeah, definitely.
Unacceptable loss. Azeez Al-Shaair is great.
Oh yeah.
Damar Hamlin has been great.
Shout out Azeez, man, former Niner. But yeah, I'm hoping the Texans can, actually like I hope their offense can actually put it together for an entire game. Because like I said, it's really just like they look good for a couple quarters, then they just hang on and win the game. It's never they never put it together for an entire game is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it was for what it's worth, it was a solid game, I guess. But game of the week. Game of the week. Game of the damn week. The Ravens.
All right, go Ravens. Let's move on.
All right, moving on. Who do we have next? Raiders and Broncos.
I'm just kidding.
The Ravens beat the Bengals 41-38 in a weird ending, bro. Weird ending. It was just so
weird. Yeah.
But Lamar Jackson, man. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, both quarterbacks balled out, man. There's really nothing bad I can say about both quarterbacks. But yeah, Joe Burrow had that interception late. But it was kind of weird. Jamar Chase, I think he was throwing it to, kind of got jammed by
it was a bad decision.
Humphrey, and yeah, he threw it too far inside, and Marlon Humphrey had him beat inside, so it was an interception. But
and it gave Justin the Ravens should have got closer than what they did after that, though. It ended up still being like a 55, 6, 7 yard field goal for Justin Tucker.
They trust Justin Tucker, man. He's been, so and so, but they trust their guy, man. They trust their Hall of Fame.
I'm not saying they shouldn't have. I'm just saying that they should have gotten more yards off of that. I was just disappointed in Lamar, but overall, this game. Shout out Sam Hubbard, because I don't know. He's got to be feeling some type of way after this game, because he blew through the line of scrimmage early in this game, and he hit Derrick Henry one-on-one for a safety. You don't see that. He single-handedly got Derrick Henry down in the backfield for a safety to get them 2 points. But then later in the game, there's a snap.
Yep.
And Lamar loses the ball. He picks it up, runs over to his right. He stiff-arms Sam Hubbard off of him, and Hubbard, goes back a little bit, comes back at him, and Lamar just pushes him to the ground. And then he throws it and likely comes down for a touchdown. And then
you can see Sam Hubbard after that take his helmet off, and he's like, what the hell just happened? How did they score? What a play by Lamar Jackson. He fumbles the snap. Most quarterbacks are just jumping on the ball, just making sure, just live to fight another down. He picks it up, runs around, gives him a stiff arm like you said, but while he's falling out of bounds, throws it back towards the middle of the field, and Isaiah Likely comes down with it. Isaiah Likely had
3 touches for 2 touchdowns.
My goodness, man. This was such a good game. Go ahead.
I've been saying for weeks now in the passing game, because you've said brilliantly, when the running game gets shut down, you got to have a passing game. And my question was, who is the secondary behind their alpha? And Zay Flowers, phenomenal game. We still don't have a secondary, and it just doesn't matter. Charlie Kohler.
Yep.
Mark Andrews had his best game of the season, but that's 4 receptions.
He would have had a touchdown. Lamar underthrew him on 1. He would have had a walk-in touchdown, but Lamar underthrew him, and he was pissed at himself. But yeah,
this team is nasty, man. This defense, they lost so many pieces, and they're still one of the best in the league. Dude from the Vikings. He wears number 91 for the Ravens now. Oh my gosh, what's his name? The edge rusher.
91? Oh, Yannick Ngakoue.
Ngakoue, yeah. He had one of his first games back. I don't know if he played last week or not, but he still looks good over there.
I will say this Ravens secondary is it hasn't been very good this season. Yeah, Marlon Humphrey hasn't looked amazing. He did have that big interception, but they haven't looked good. I think, who is it? It's Brandon Stevens. Another corner for them hasn't looked great this season. Their secondary has, been a question mark for their defense. But talking about an even worse defense,
has been very disappointing.
Talking about an even worse defense, the Bengals. That offense is doing everything they can, but they just can't win a game because that defense just cannot stop giving up points. They put up 38. The defense gives up 41. Against the Commanders, they put up 33. They let up 38. Against the Pats, you only give up 26, and then the Panthers, you gave up 24 to the Panthers. You won that game. But man, the Joe Burrow is playing his ass off right now, playing out of his mind.
So is Jamar.
Jamar Chase. And T. Higgins even had 2 touchdowns in this game. But, man, they just cannot get a stop to save their life on defense. And we said Derrick Henry was going to run all over them. But it just turned out Lamar, and he had himself a good game. But Lamar Jackson just put his team on it.
He didn't, to be honest. He had an okay game.
But if he
wouldn't have had that 51-yarder at the end,
that's what I was trying to tell you.
Henry game.
That's what I was trying to tell you. But Lamar Jackson put on his cape and just said, we're not losing this game. I forget. It was the Ravens had just scored, and this was just like the Jags game. The Ravens had just scored. I walk out the room. I come back in. I see them showing Joe Burrow on the bench. I'm like, oh, that's weird. He's not getting up yet. He's not, throwing the ball around. They show the scoreboard, and the Bengals scored again. And from the time I walked out of my room, grabbed the water, came back, the Bengals literally already scored. Jamar Chase just took it to the crib. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, why is Joe Burrow just sitting there? What happened?
And it was a screen.
Literally a screen. And he doesn't just takes it to the crib.
70.
I literally thought Joe Burrow was hurt or something and he just couldn't play. But no, he's just sitting on the bench because they scored that quick. And that's what this offense can do, but this defense just cannot get a stop to save their life.
Soul. No.
And it's sad because you look at them being 1-4 and think, man, Joe Burrow has to be underperforming. But no, other than that week 1 game against the Pats, he's been amazing. He's been amazing. And he's going to get a lot of hate online, like on Twitter and stuff like that, but it's not his fault.
Who cares?
It is not his fault, man. He's playing his ass off, and Jamar Chase is looking good every week. He's doing something crazy. What he did against the Panthers, breaking 17 tackles and taking it up the sideline to the end zone, and then doing it to the Ravens. Man, they pay him, please. Pay him, please. Please. And figure it out with T. Higgins as well, because he's such a good number 2 to have. Figure it out with him as well, please.
This was my game during the 1 o'clock slate. I had my Lamar jersey on for the 1 o'clock and then the 4 o'clock. I always switch my jerseys. I'm a jersey guy, but had my Lamar jersey on. Chase Brown punches it in to go up 10 for the Bengals, and I'm thinking, oh man, the Ravens lost. But no, the play where he stiff arm Sam Hubbard happens. The stiff arm Sam Hubbard touchdown happens. So they're down 3, and then Joe Burrow forces it to Marlon Humphrey pick. They get the field goal to go into overtime. Mm-hmm. Overtime comes, right? Lamar is calling for the ball, like begging for the ball, and then he must have looked at his receivers or something because they snapped it, and then he just loses it, and the Bengals pick it up, and I'm thinking that's game. Bengals lost. Or not the Bengals lost. Bengals won. Lost. Bengals get the ball. Don't do much with it. They line up for a 53-yard kicker with one of the better kickers in the league. I like Evan McPherson a lot.
Yep.
Holder gets it, loses the ball. I'm surprised McPherson got the ball as high as he did still, but he shanks it way right, fully on the holder. Ravens get the ball back, and Lamar had to have been thinking, thank God, because he had to have been kicking himself over.
It was such a weird ending. Each team gave the other team just chances and chances to win the game. It didn't make any sense. Like, I was literally watching the Niners game like, damn, this game is still on? Like, what's going on? Like, somebody win it already, but yeah.
Ravens get the ball back, first play. Turns the hands it to Derrick Henry, breaks it off for 51. They don't even center the ball for Tucker. They just
that's the right thing to do. If you get into the red zone that late, you got a kicker like that. It's damn near an extra point. Just kick it. Don't even risk snapping the ball again, fumbling it like you did. Just kick it. Just kick it. And there was a throw that Joe Burrow made to, it was Yoshivas, I think it was. It was like down the sideline. It was just one
on the
catch.
right side.
Yes. That ball felt like it was in the air for 30 seconds before it came down, and somehow he stayed in bounds and caught it, man. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about this game. You just gotta feel bad for Joe Burrow in that offense. 1-4 now. It's gonna be a tough road for them to make the playoffs, but next week they got the Giants. But it looks like the Giants are no slouch, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants pulled that out. Then you got the Browns, the Eagles,
got Dexter
the Raiders.
Lawrence with that offensive line.
Man. The Bengals, man, it sucks for them. But we can move on. Raiders.
Before we move on, Derrick Henry, congratulations. 10,000 yards, 100 career touchdowns. Pretty cool. Raiders at Broncos.
Raiders at Broncos. Broncos get the win 34-18 over the Raiders. We saw some Aiden O'Connell in this game. That is another quarterback situation where it's like, what the hell is going on? Like, can we just bench him? Just bench him, please. We all the entire world knows. Bench him. But like, why bench Gardner?
Sucks.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Aiden O'Connell sucks.
See what you have and play the young guy. Just see what you have.
They did.
Play the young guy. He should be starting. He should be starting from now on. Enough with Gardner. And I'm a Gardner guy. I love Gardner Minshew. But as a backup, and he comes in and just gives some life to the offense. See what you have in Aiden O'Connell or something, please. We know what Gardner is. We've seen him for the past 6 years. It's been now. We know what he is.
And I don't think Aiden O'Connell changes anything.
I'm not saying he's going to be the savior of this franchise, but play the young guy.
I'm not saying you are.
Play the young guy and just see what you have in him.
He's not young. That's the issue.
The young guy, NFL-wise, I mean, in terms of years he's been in the league. We know what Gardner Minshew is already. We know what he is. But the big story here is Devontae Adams and where he's going to end up playing, because it looks like he's not going to be on this team much longer. And did you see Max Crosby's?
It's a 2-year age difference between those quarterbacks.
How many years I know what you're saying. O'Connell been in the league, and how many years?
I know what you're saying, but they're all I'm saying is they both suck. So this is just.
And I'm not saying I'm not saying Aiden O'Connell is good. I'm just saying why play Gardner over him.
The quote you're about to mention is not real, by the way. You got ball sacked.
No, not him saying that he wants to leave. Not like that he's going with Tay. Not that.
Okay.
He was saying like I have it tatted on I have the Raiders tatted on my body. I'm not going anywhere. That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Like that's what I know. I wasn't talking about I'm going with Tay wherever he goes. No,
package deal.
No. He was asked. They asked him, and like a reporter asked him. He was like, "No, I have the Raiders tatted on me. Do you know how much this organization and city means to me? Like I'm here no matter what. I love Tay, but I'm a Raider." And that's what he ended up saying. But yeah, Brock Bowers looked really good. He looks like
phenomenal.
One of the best tight ends in the league already. You're probably going to say he's the best tight end. But there isn't much to say about this game other than Bo Nix and those damn Broncos. What do you have to say about Bo Nix? What do you have to say about him? Go ahead. What do you have to say about him? Yep.
I would like to formally apologize.
Yep.
I can't do it anymore.
Yep.
As much as I dislike this team, Bo is getting better every week.
Mm-hmm.
The fire he had when he is screaming in Sean Payton's face, and then Sean tried to talk back to him, and he just said "fuck you" and walked away.
Yep.
I love it, dude. I'm not a Bo Nix fan by any means, but that was beautiful. He's looking better. He threw a touchdown to Troy Franklin, and I love Troy Franklin, and he just drops it, and it's like, what are you doing, man? But I had to look in the mirror during this game because I was sitting here pissed off. And I was like, why am I so mad right now? And I just realized that like I have too much hate for the Broncos for literally no reason. And Gardner threw that pick.
It takes a man to admit when they're wrong, man. This is music to my ears that you're able to admit that you were wrong on Bo Nix. Not to say that he's going to be some elite quarterback, but that you can own up to where you were wrong. Continue, man. I'm sure Devin is loving this. Devin's loving this.
I will stand on the fact that he got drafted way too high. I don't think he is a first-round quarterback, but I love what I'm seeing from him so far. His mindset is way better than his talent to me, and I love the mindset of a quarterback. I don't got a lot to say other than that. The Raiders, y'all suck. You were streaming. I came in and I said, "No way!" Gardner just threw a pick 5. I autocorrected 5 from 6, and you were like, "What the hell is a pick 5?" So screw you for that. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
But 101-yard pick 6 to pass retain when you're in the red zone.
It's
just embarrassing.
And it was an awful overthrow. An awful overthrow.
I was screaming for Aiden O'Connell in your chat, and then Aiden O'Connell comes in and just looks absolutely abysmal as well. And he got to the red zone and also threw a red zone pick, and they don't have a good option.
The absolute worst, bro. Nothing infuriates me more than a red zone pick, because it's like at worst, you have to say to yourself, at worst, we're walking out of here with 3. No matter what, we're leaving here with 3 points. And to turn the ball over and walk out with nothing, and turn the ball over is one thing, but letting him take it 101 yards for a touchdown, I hate red zone turnovers, man. They piss me off. They piss me off, Jordan Mason. Continue though. They continue.
We'll get to them next game. Coming into this game, there was no Zamir White, so I'm thinking former Viking Alexander Mattison is gonna boom this week because he's looked pretty good so far, and he was horrific. He was absolutely
Alexander
abysmal,
Mattison is
dude.
not good. He's not good. I don't know what people expected to see when he came to the Raiders. I know for a couple of years he looked like a solid backup whenever Dalvin Cook got hurt with the Vikings, because they looked the same. They both had the dreads. They both were kind of built the same. So it was like, man, this could just be Dalvin Cook. He could be their guy. But no, Alexander Mattison is not good. His vision isn't good. He's a solid pass catching back, but other than that, he is not a good running back. He got
outplayed by Amir Abdullah.
Amir Abdullah, yeah.
And I can't even say that because Amir Abdullah had one big play for a touch. Like, he sucks too. The whole Raiders offense is just bad.
Other than Brock Bowers,
I understand you, Devontae Adams. I understand.
Absolutely, I cannot blame him, especially being that you went there strictly to play with your college quarterback. They cut him after one season. They bring in Jimmy Garoppolo, and my goodness, Jimmy G was god awful. Then you have to play with a rookie. Now you got to play with Gardner
Minshew. I'm gonna
lose
my fucking life.
Like literally, he was so pissed. And Jimmy walked over in receiver, and he was like, "My fault, Tay. My fault, Tay." And Tay's like, "Throw the damn ball, man. Throw the damn ball." Because it was that crazy overthrow when Tay was running down the left sideline last season, wide open, and Jimmy pumps like he always does, get happy feet, and just sails it over. But man, not to make this about Jimmy G, but the Raiders, please just trade Devontae Adams, cut your losses, and restart.
Send him to the Ravens. You can have Rashad Bateman 1-for-1. Moving on, Cardinals at Niners. This was a good game, man. I was so happy watching this one.
You say, Mom?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'll cover you. You could talk. No, I'm bullshitting. I just don't want to talk about this game.
Final score 24-23. Tom Brady's game this week, and as I told Erlins, this, in my opinion, was his best game of the season. And this was one of his first games getting to hear Tom Brady, and
all I heard was a bunch of like, ooh, like it wasn't great. It wasn't great. But
first drive of the game, Kyler Murray fakes the handoff, takes off to the right, and immediately throws it up, dude. Immediately from the 43-yard line,
he puts his finger up and is like, "Yeah."
He just knew they weren't catching him.
And I can't blame him.
That's insane.
And you know why? It's because we have 75-year-old Devondre Campbell on the field. For what reason? I couldn't tell you. But man, what another disappointing loss. Loss. Here I am wearing my Niners gear. And I wore my Niners hoodie to work today. My manager was like, "Man, you guys lost and you're still wearing your Niners hoodie. I gotta respect it."
What?
Like, I don't know what he expected me to do, come in there with the Cardinals jersey. But I'm like, yeah, I'm still supporting this garbage-ass team. But what a disappointing loss, man. You know, Brandon Ayuk had like 94 yards in the first quarter. He had 101, I think, before halftime. Well before halftime. Brandon Ayuk came and looked like the guy that, you know, I everybody saw last season. But man, what a disappointing game to lose. We're driving down the field with 6:40-ish left in the fourth quarter. And we're in the red zone. We hand it off to Jordan Mason, and he fumbles. And from that point on, I looked into the camera as I was streaming this game, and my heart sank. I was like, holy shit, we're about to lose this game. Because Kittle got, for as good as the pass blocking tight end as he is, he got blown up. If you go back and watch this play, he got put on his ass. The guy, I think it was his guy that forced the fumble because he got put on his ass. Kyle Juszczyk, I think, missed the block on this play as well. But Brock Purdy. I said I had some things to say about him. You know, I'm a fan of Brock Purdy. You know, I ride or die for Brock Purdy, but I got to keep it real. Brock, I love you, but he's just doing too much. If you were to just watch this game and not really pay much attention, you would say, oh, that interception got tipped. It wasn't his fault. Oh, he got sacked on that interception. It wasn't his fault. It was Brock Purdy's fault on both of those interceptions. It was his fault on both of them. He had Kittle wide open. He pumped it. It's like, Brock, just throw the ball. You don't have to make a spectacular play. We know you can run around and make a nice throw and get a highlight reel play, but you just don't have to do that every play. He's holding onto the ball way too long this season. When it works out, it looks like, whoa, is this Brock Purdy or is this Lamar Jackson? When he's running around and just throwing it outside the pocket, it's like, whoa. But when it doesn't work, it's like, Brock Purdy, what are you doing, dog? It's like,
what are you doing, buddy?
It's like, what are you doing? What did you see? It's like, why are you trying to be Superman? It's like, Brock just, it's like, I kind of feels like he's trying to kill those, like, that he's just a system guy quarterback narratives, and he's just overdoing it. It seems like. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but that's from an outside perspective. That's kind of what it seems like he's doing, because there were times in this game where I was on stream and I was watching, and I'm like, why are you running around, Brock? If there's nothing there, just throw it away. Just throw it away. Just live the fight another down. Don't get you, because God forbid you get yourself hurt. You're throwing an interception. You're turning the ball over. Just throw it away, and we'll move on to the next play. It's okay to throw the ball away, and that's what he has to learn. It's been a struggle for since he's been in the league, to be honest. He's always just held the ball too long and not been willing to throw it away at times. And at times he's made strides and it looks like he's throwing the ball away. But this season specifically, he's been holding on to the ball way too long. And yes, this offensive line isn't great, but my goodness, they could look a little better if you just got rid of the ball. I think he has the longest time to throw out of any quarterback in the league this season, and I can see it. He's literally just standing back there, and if he gets any sort of pressure, he's running out to the pocket, and he's running out to the left, seeing if someone's open, then running back into the pocket, then running back out right. It's like, okay, I get it. You can roll out left, roll out right, but if nothing's there, then you either tuck it and run, or you throw it away. Like
Tom Brady mentioned it during his commentary as well. Brock did one of those things where he was scrambling way too long, and I don't know who he was in there with, but the other guy was like, "Man, he's got a lot of time back there, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. Were you ever in the pocket for that long?" And Tom was like, "Absolutely not. The football was a hot potato to me.
Exactly.
If I had it, I was getting rid of it.
Just get it out. Just get it out." Like he's just not willing to throw it away. Go ahead.
Hufanga got hurt in this game. He hurt his wrist, but to be honest, he hasn't been very good.
I was just about to say, Talanoa Hufanga has not been good. Our backup safety, we drafted him this year, Malik Mustafa. He has been looking so much better than Huff has. And this has always been, Huff has kind of been just a highlight reel guy. Like, he'll make the play that you see on Twitter or SportsCenter. He'll, like, against the Rams a couple of years ago, he had a pick six on a screen pass thrown to, like, Cooper Kupp, I think it was. He'll make the big hit. He'll just be in the right place at the right time and get that tipped interception. Like, he's a guy that if you look at the stat sheet, you're going to see, wow, he had 5 interceptions. He had a hell of a season. But in coverage, he's not amazing. He misses a lot of tackles because he kind of plays with his hair on fire. He's sprinting around, and he's just coming downfield so fast, and he just whiffs on so many tackles. Huff has not been great this season. I'm not glad that he's gotten hurt, but now I'm glad that we get to see Malik Mustafa get to play and develop because he's looked solid. He's made some big tackles for us. But yeah, man, this Devondre Campbell, I've been saying it for so long, should not be playing anymore. D. Winters, a linebacker for us, he played well for us. He made a couple of big hits. Devondre Campbell should not be playing anymore. And the last thing I have to say, Kyle Shanahan, run the damn ball, please. I get it. Jordan Mason fumbled, and that was late in the game, so that's no excuse. Another 10-point lead, Kyle Shanahan fumbles away. Because why are we throwing the ball so much when we're up against the Cardinals? Run the ball and put the game away. Why does Jordan Mason only have 14 carries? He couldn't get closer to 20? You're telling me he couldn't get closer to 20? Brock should not have to throw 35 times against a defense that is this bad. Against a Cardinals defense, Brock should be throwing closer to 20 times a game. We should have 40 rushes in this game, but collectively, and we should mop the floor with the Cardinals. There's just no... Kyle Shanahan's management, his clock management, his score management has never been great, and you see it again in this game. And Kyler Murray, I said that was the last thing I was going to say, but Kyler Murray running... Like I said to you last week, running quarterbacks have always given the Niners problems. And on the first drive, Kyler Murray takes it 45 to the crib, and what did he finish with? 83 rushing yards. Mobile quarterbacks have always given us problems. It's like, what's new with the Niners? It's always, and shout out to Nick Bosa, Because Nick Bosa, and it's not because of his play. If you go and watch post-game interviews of the Niners, everyone's like, our standard here is, we're supposed to be great. We're supposed to win games. We'll bounce. Nick Bosa keeps it real. After the game, he talked to the press, and he was like, we just did make adjustments, like calling out our defensive coordinator, Nick Sorensen. It's his first year, and we just did not make any adjustments. We just... Man, it just doesn't make any sense. This is such another frustrating loss, and it really doesn't make any sense, and I'm worried. I'm worried for this team because, yeah, we could get into the playoffs, but from what I'm seeing, why would I take us over the Vikings in a playoff game? Why would I take us over the Lions in a playoff game? Hell, I might take the Seahawks over us. Why would I take the Packers over us? Why would I take the Eagles or the Cowboys over us? We're in that tier with the Cowboys. For as much hate as the Cowboys gets and like how they get clowned in the media, the Cowboys are always, they live off the past. They live off the 90s. The Niners are in the same boat. We haven't won a Super Bowl since I think it was 95. We're in the same boat as the Cowboys. We haven't done anything. We love to start slow to the season, and it's another time. Now we're 2-3. I think this is our 7th time out of the last 10 seasons where we're under 500 through 5 games. And it doesn't make any sense. We're just too good of a team to every year we have to dig ourselves out of a hole. Bengals. And granted, they've done it in the past. A couple of seasons ago, we started like 2-4. We made the playoffs, but we just shouldn't have to rely on, okay, we lost some games. Now let's buckle down. Let's get it together. And now let's go on that run. Because we already lost to the Vikings, and we're 3 games back of them. So what are the odds of us getting the number 1 seed? So now we have to go on the road in the playoffs. It's just a really bad. All 3 of our losses are to the NFC, so that's another thing that's going to hurt our playoff seeding. We're 0-2 in division. It's go ahead, man. Go ahead.
The big game changer in this game to me was DJ Dallas absolutely destroyed Jake Moody. So y'all just couldn't kick field goals anymore.
Yeah, but I'm not even gonna give us the out. No. Yeah, we had to go for it on like 4th and 23. I will say that was like, damn, we really have to do this, but nah, yeah.
Because that's a field goal. That should have been a field goal.
Definitely, yeah.
But the winner of this game was James Conner runs the ball, and I don't know what happened, right? But there's a penalty, so they get the ball on like the 1-yard line, and the whole thing, you're down 4. Just kick the field goal or kick the PAT and make it 3. But Gannon says, no, I'm going to go for 2. Just give it to James Conner. He's going to get it for us. So they do, and they get it, and they go down 2. And they kick the field goal to win the game.
Yep.
And it was brilliant.
It worked. Yeah, it worked. It worked. Yeah, that's what Nick Bosa was talking about. We didn't make any adjustments, and we let them adjust to us, and we didn't adjust back. James Conner came out the second half because we did a pretty good job on him in the first half. But in that second half, my goodness, nobody could tackle him. No one could. He was breaking so many tackles, and those type of runs are just crushing. They just defeat. It's 3rd, and forget that. That 4th down throw, 4th and 5. Kyler Murray has Leonard Floyd all in his grill, and he's just falling. No, he's just falling back, fading away. 4th and 5, throws it up to Marvin Harrison Jr. My goodness, and guess who it was on? Isaac Yiadom, another guy I said needs to be benched, please. But yeah, literally just is fading away, throws a prayer, and Marvin Harrison Jr. comes down with it.
Another game changer in this one. Oh, was the penalty when he made the little Derrick Henry type throw and they got roughing the passer, Elijah Higgins in the end zone? I don't remember what they got the penalty for them to go for 2. I don't remember when the touchdown was. But I remember that they got the touchdown to throw to Elijah Higgins. He ran forward and got destroyed.
It was not the rough. It was roughing the passer. So it's
roughing the passer. Okay, it was that play.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, where he got hit in the face and then they called roughing. But yeah, so it's like they put the 15 towards the PAT, and since it's a PAT, it's just half the distance, and now you get to try for 2 from the 1. So yeah. Yep. But shout out Nick Bosa, had himself an interception, took it for 30 yards, but man, super disappointing loss, and I definitely am getting worried about the Niners. If you
Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, and Diamador Lenoir are the 3 players that show up every week. The rest of the team is there for a paycheck.
Charvarius Ward, you were an all-pro corner last year. You had, I think it was like 7 interceptions, I want to say, on the season like that. something like that. But you just have not been great this season. But yeah. Oh man, this was super disappointing. Super disappointing. I like what I saw from Brandon Ayuk. I'm glad that he's looking good, looking back to form. George Kittle is looking good again. He's been looking solid when he's played this season. But yeah, we got to get it together, man. We got to get it together because we got the Seahawks this Thursday. Then we got the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Bucks, the Seahawks, the Packers, the Bills, the Bears. Do you hear that? This was supposed to be the easiest portion of our season. This first 5 games was okay. The Niners walk out the first 5 games. They're 4-1, 5-0. Then they get into the gauntlet. We're walking into the gauntlet 2-3. We have the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Bucks, the Seahawks again, the Packers, and the Bills.
But I'm gonna be honest. The Cowboys are the easiest game left until the season, until you get to your Dolphins matchup, and by then Tua might be back.
Yep. And it's not like to end the season it's easy either because we got the Rams who already beat us. We got the Bears. We know their defense is elite, and that offenses look better and better every week. We got we got the Lions, the Bills, the Dolphins, like you said, Tua could be back, and then the Cardinals who beat us. It's tough. These first 5 games were the games where we were supposed to start strong so we could afford a couple of losses late into the season. Now we just have to pray that Seattle falls off so we can at least win our division. Because like I said, I really do think with the way things have started, this division may only get one team in the playoffs. Because the NFC North looks like it's at least going to get 2, if not 3 teams in the playoffs.
If not 4.
The NFC South could get 2 with the Bucks and the Falcons. So yeah.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
Yeah.
You ready to move on?
Yeah.
Giants at Seahawks.
Yeah.
You just want to talk all sad the rest of the pod.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Giants got the ball first. They gave it to Eric Gray a whole bunch, and I was thinking, man, Eric Gray looks phenomenal. And that upset me because I was a Tyrone Tracy fan. And then Eric Gray gets to the red zone and he jumps up. And I look at the screen and I'm like, what is happening? Because here goes, who was it? Rayshawn Jenkins. Here goes Rayshawn Jenkins just sprinting to the end zone. Yeah. And I'm thinking, what is going on here? And apparently he fumbled in the end zone. Mm-hmm. And a lot of teams that would just take a lot of momentum from him. The Giants come right back, put together another masterclass of a drive. Mm-hmm. And they score. They should have scored back-to-back and been up early on the Seahawks, but instead it was 7-7. Tyrone Tracy was just absolutely incredible all game.
I was screaming and Slip was in there. He's like, we're getting killed by a dude named Tracy. Who the hell is this? And like he killed them. In another game, Daniel Jones, man. Daniel Jones just does what he has to do. He's not doing too much. And that's all we ask for, DJ. You don't have your number 1 receiver. We know it's going to be tough, but just do your job. Don't do too much. Don't do too little. And that's exactly what he did. He's not forcing throws. He's not trying to be Superman. He's just playing within the system, and that's all the Giants need from him to be competitive. That's it. That's literally all they need. Just don't try to overdo things.
And I know you're a big Wan'Dale guy, and he's so good as a... So far this season, you have been high on Wan'Dale, no?
Continue. I say one thing about somebody. I know you love this guy. Earlier this, Roquan Smith is the best. I said he's the second best linebacker. Your boy Roquan Smith, man. I know you love him. That's your guy. It's like just because I say somebody played well, it's like, oh, your boy.
Okay, so you're not high on Wan'Dale.
I don't love him. I just said he played well last week. That's all I said.
He's been playing good all season.
Yeah, that's all I said.
Screw whatever you're saying. Wan'Dale is a great possession receiver. Mm-hmm. Darius Slayton balled out, dude. Mm-hmm. He was the star of this week, and I love Jalen Hyatt. I don't understand why he doesn't do anything
ever.
This was your week to do something, man, and you're not even out there. Yeah. Seahawks fans are incredible. They had the place rocking the whole game. Mm-hmm. And there was something the Giants had to practice for because they knew they wouldn't be able to hear things very well. Mm-hmm. And JSN got his first touchdown of the season.
Did you see JSN what he did when Gino was running?
When he was running?
Yeah, and he faked like he was getting the ball, and you could see the defender. Yeah, and he dove trying to swat the ball, and Gino's just running it. Yeah. Man, but ending for the
on
Seahawks.
That run.
Go ahead.
On that run, he got them into field goal range. They were down 23-20.
Yep.
And here comes Isaiah Simmons, who a lot of people coming into the league thought he was the next big guy. He was supposed to be what Kyle Hamilton became, and blocks the field goal to win them the game. Pretty much.
The Seahawks take it to the Giants take it to the crib. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the D lineman held the other guy down and just jumped over him to block it. I don't know what happened there. I guess it was legal. Everybody was saying, but that was just weird.
But no, this is a huge win, a great win for the Giants, man. Without your best receiver, to have Darius Slayton step up like the way he did, to have Daniel Jones play as well as he did, the defense is special.
I love Daniel Jones, man. Dexter Lawrence is so good.
He's been playing well. He is so underrated.
Dexter Lawrence,
so underrated.
He's probably top 3D tackle in the league right now.
He's
like
so.
third
Absolutely.
I think he's third in sacks as a nose tackle, and I think he has 5, and first is 6.5, something like that. And it's incredible. He shouldn't be as good as he is, but he is, and he's changed the whole. And he got a commercial. I don't know if you saw his commercial. It's weak as hell, but he got a little commercial. Good for him.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Giants. Stone Forsythe, the right tackle for the Seahawks, just absolutely sucks. By the way, so hopefully they figure that out. Moving on, Packers at Rams.
Yeah, Packers at Rams. Packers go into SoFi Stadium and win 24-19. Rams fall to 1-4. Packers move to 3-2. Go ahead.
This was a boring game. I don't have a lot to say about this one.
It was.
Coming in, Tre'Davious White was a healthy scratch, which is so crazy to say because a couple years ago he was the best corner.
He's been bad this year. He's been bad. I think he leads the league in penalties, and he's been bad. He's been very bad. Go ahead.
Jair was out again. I think that once they're healthy, this is one of the best secondaries in football. Xavier McKinney has 5 picks through 5 games. I want to say he's had one in every game.
Yeah, he has. He's had one in every single game.
He's been one of the best DBs in football so far, and the Giants just gave him away pretty much. He also had a fumble recovery. Xavier McKinney has been one of the best defensive players so far this season. He's been incredible. Tucker Kraft has been really good over there for them. Everybody picked up Dontavian Wicks in fantasy. I didn't really understand why. He didn't do a damn thing either. Romeo Doubs got suspended for conduct detrimental to the team. I don't really know what happened. I hope he's okay. I hope that they get that figured out because I really like it.
Matt LaFleur had a quote on it. He was like, it was a one-time thing. We don't think it's going to happen again, so he expects him back next week.
Okay, that's good at least. Other than that, I needed one more reception from Jaden Reed in this game for $250. So,
really?
Yeah, it kind of broke my heart a little bit.
One of my friends had asked me to put together an anytime TD. I can go look at it. I think I only missed by 1. And it was me being like, you know what, this is going to be the Brandon Ayuk game, in which it ended up being his game, but he just didn't get into the end zone. So I think I missed by 1. I forget who I had on it. But yeah, I know Brandon Ayuk was the one. Yeah, I had James Cook. I had Nico Collins. Thank God he scored before he went out. I had Chase Brown, and I had Josh Jacobs. They all got in, but Brandon Ayuk sold the slip. And he had a good game, but just didn't get into the end zone.
Sunday Night Football?
Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys.
Brandon Cooks
in a game that was delayed for 10 hours.
Oh, my God.
This game ended at what? Late after 1. It was crazy.
It ended sooner than what we're going to finish this podcast today. But
man, Cowboys going to Pittsburgh and get a late touchdown to beat the Steelers 20-17.
That ending was beautiful, man. The Cowboys the Cowboys' whole team is just riddled with injuries.
Absolutely.
George Pickens had his eye black that said "open fucking always."
He needs to grow up.
First off, it should be always open, but whatever. I like Pickens, so whatever.
Yeah.
TJ Watt got his 100th career sack, and he had a little quote where it was like, JJ told me that sacks don't come very often, so always celebrate them. And that was pretty cool because they're both so elite, and their brother is just a fullback. But Marshawn Nealon went out early with a knee injury.
Stray. That's such a crazy stray, and their brother's just the fullback. But go ahead, man.
Their talented rookie Marshawn Nealon went out early with a knee injury, and that sucks because they were already hurting so bad. But it just didn't end up mattering. CeeDee Lamb is so talented. Jalen Tolbert gave them a lot. Jake Ferguson had a solid little game. But this was Rico Dowdle's best game of the season by far. Zeke, I think he completely took the RB run from Zeke Elliott.
Zeke is bad.
I'm not gonna say that Zeke is still a legend, but learn to respect your legends, young fella.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Marvion Overshawn is so good. He's other than Micah and Diggs, he's one of their best players so far this season.
DeMarcus Lawrence, yeah,
but he's on IR too. So,
but
Dante Jackson for the Steelers has been great. That was a good trade. Just
great trade.
Giving up Deontay Johnson. Well, they could use Deontay Johnson because Calvin Austin is playing way too much, but Dante Jackson's a stud. So, Cam Hayward's little brother scored a touchdown.
And speaking of Cam Hayward, is 35 now, and he's
old.
still just playing his ass off. He's still so damn good. It doesn't make any sense. But before in our previews, I said if the Steelers could get something in between of how good Justin played and how bad their defense was, they could just get somewhere in between, they'd be just fine. But Justin wasn't good. He was not. He
wasn't
very good
bad though either. He had what, like 140 yards? He was 15 for 27. He didn't turn the ball over. It was bad. It was bad.
he was not very good. But this is a very good win for the Cowboys, man. Very good win for the Cowboys because with the Commanders going to 4-1, you didn't want to fall too far behind, and then with the Eagles on a bye. But yeah, it was really good to see them go on that drive, and it got to fourth down. And they didn't crumble. They made a play. Dak stood tall, and he found Tolbert for a touchdown. So I was really happy to see the Cowboys, get this win, because this could have been another Cowboy season where it's just like what's happening? Like, what do you? This team is too good.
This is our year.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was happy. I don't usually root. I wouldn't even say I was rooting for the Cowboys, but I was just happy to see them actually come.
I was heavily rooting against them
and win the game. Really? Oh, because you're just
I'm a Justin
Fields guy, but yeah. But yeah, like I said, I still think this team needs, Jalen Tolbert did have a solid game, but this team still does need another difference maker out wide. Go get Devontae. Please, the Bills, the Ravens, go get Devontae. But for what it's worth, it was a pretty good win for the Cowboys, and I think Dak Prescott, he did have 2 interceptions, but I do think he played pretty well.
He was playing reckless, dude. He ended up having a decent game, but he was playing so reckless in this game. I thought he was going to lose it for him. But they got to the end of the game, and as you said, they pulled it out. But 4th and 1, they handed off to Rico Dowdle, and I feel bad. I don't know the guy's name, but
it was an amazing play. It was an amazing
Landon
play.
Roberts. He just predicted and dove from like 6. Yes.
Flew
and the tip of his helmet just smacked the ball. And
thank goodness Dak was back there. Thank goodness Dak was back there to jump on that ball. Because, man,
they were on the one.
So bad. It could have turned out so bad for the game. Because you see that play and it's like, oh, man, here go the Cowboys. Steelers are going to wrap this game up. But nah. Dak Prescott found Tolbert because thank goodness he was back there. Because you saw that. It was an amazing play for him to leap and get that fumble. And you saw the ball pop and it was just like, holy shit. Yeah.
I was cheering. But
that's crazy.
Third down, Dak drops back, throws it to Tolbert, and he throws it short. Tolbert lands, and I don't know what he ended up hurting, but he kept holding his groin and his.
He was kind of like sliding, and I know what you mean.
But they called timeout. He tried to stay in the game so they wouldn't have to lose the timeout, and he ran over, and McCarthy looked at him and was like, we need somebody that can actually run a route out there. So they called timeout solely to get him out of the game, right? They line back up. Mike Tomlin doesn't like what he sees. Mike Tomlin wanted to see what they were coming out in, so he called timeout.
Yep.
They put Tolbert back in the game, and Tolbert wins them the game.
Yep.
After they brilliant ending, dude. They ran the Steelers went into man coverage, and they ran double drags. Dudes bumped into each other, and he's just wide open on the left side, 4th and 5.
Anytime it's man coverage, you're gonna an easy man coverage beater is just have 2 crossing routes because you just want those defenders to kind of get in each other's way, and then you'll have at least one person open, if not both of them, and it worked.
And I don't blame the Steelers. When you got TJ, you're just hoping that he can get there in time, but he didn't.
Yep.
And they lost the game. But it was a brilliant Sunday Night Football. I was very happy with the ending.
Yeah, just not happy that it ended at 4 a.m. But yeah, it was a solid little game.
Moving on, Monday Night Football.
Again, Saints. I will say I did not watch a second of this game, and it's not because I didn't want to. I was at work, and like I said earlier, we're dealing with the hurricane, so I was so busy, I didn't get to watch this game at all.
I did.
Go ahead.
The Saints have a absolutely brilliant red zone defense. Unfortunately, before you get to the red zone, you got to play defense the rest of the field as well. And they just weren't. The defense was just giving up the ass. And the whole game, Mahomes was just driving, dude. And
I love that line. It kills me every time. Just giving up the ass. It kills me every time because Kyron says that all the time, and I just love it. It kills me every single time, bro.
One of our first episodes, I had a little segment where I asked you about receivers, and I said Juju, and you said, "Oh, he might catch the game winner one day, but it's like he ain't gonna do nothing." And Juju balled, dude. I don't know why you upset. You didn't watch. Juju balled. He had a catch and run for like 50 yards, but he had one drop, and it was in the end zone, and it bobbled off of his chest, and it was an interception to a big fat lineman.
I saw him. He took it like 40 yards or something like that. Yeah, I saw.
And the worst part is they were glazing the hell out of him before, but it was like, this guy's brother is a backup dancer for Taylor Swift, and it's like, who cares, man? We're watching it. Mm-hmm. But literally the same drive he gets the pick, and it's like, I bet his brother's happy for him now, and I wanted to swing on him. but other than that, Juju was just absolutely incredible. Derek Carr ends up getting hurt in this game, but it didn't matter because they were already getting blown out. And here comes in Jake Haener. What
I will say, if Derek Carr can't play next week, please let it be Spencer Rattler. Please. I said it earlier that I didn't know why Jake Haener was their number 2 and not Spencer Rattler, and we just both were like, it doesn't really matter anyway. But no, if Derek Carr can't go next week, it better be Spencer Rattler.
Yes. The run game killed the Saints. Kareem Hunt had 27 carries. 27 carries for Kareem Hunt, who got signed last week, is just absolutely insane. You lost this game to 35-year-old Travis Kelce, Juju, who got cut because he was bad, and Kareem Hunt, who got signed in week 4 because he's bad. The Saints, I'm sorry, Frosty, you're our boy. Love you to death, but y'all were frauds. You beat the Panthers.
Absolutely.
And you beat the
Cowboys.
You frauds.
Absolutely frauds.
Alvin Kamara could not get anything going this game. He dominated the first 4 weeks and got nothing this game. Everybody expected Kelce to go crazy this game, which he did. He had 9 receptions on 10 targets for 70 yards. And Andy Reid called a cool play towards the end. He ran a read option with Kelce and Xavier Worthy in the backfield, and he handed it off to Worthy and ran it for a touchdown. It just didn't matter. Paulson and Debo, I've been high on you all season. You got to chill out with the penalties. You got way too many on the season. He got torched by Worthy and just yanked him down to the ground. It makes me upset every time. Just try to fight. Yeah. We both picked the Saints. We were excited for this game. It wasn't a game. You didn't miss a lot, man.
Yeah, I saw that clip of Derek Carr throwing a touchdown, and he was talking to the sideline like, I told you. I don't know what that was all about, but I seen that clip.
Yeah, he threw it to Rashid Shaheed, who had a good little game, but apparently Chris Olave, they just want his... Chris Olave's over there. We got to guard everybody else as well. Just leave them over. Chris Olave, we can't let him beat us. Please throw Chris Olave the ball. He's not Jesus Christ.
We were talking about it earlier before we started, I think. Like I was saying that I don't know who it is. It was his if it was his brother. I think the name was Josh Olave. I don't know if that's his brother or something. But they had made a tweet like only like two targets or 2 receptions or something like that. So I don't know if there's some issues going on in New Orleans, but go get Devontae Adams. That could be another spot for him.
No.
Go get Devontae and maybe...
No, it can't. They're bad. Do not do that to Devontae.
Pair him back up with his quarterback.
If he goes to the Saints or the Jets, I will be mad.
If he goes to the Jets, I will be pissed. The Jets
are better than the Saints. I'm sorry.
It's only because, like I said last week, it's just gonna be some soap opera if he goes to the Jets.
That's true.
But if you don't got anything else to say, I don't have anything else to say about this game. I think
that's the last game of the season. Before we wrap it up, let's talk about fantasy a little bit.
Season, they're in the season. This is the last week of the season.
The Saints were so bad that they're just calling the rest of the season off. The Ravens got it. But last game of the week, before we wrap it up, we're going to talk about fantasy football a little bit. We do our Friday episodes for y'all. We do our little 4-player teams. And I was down 0-2 to Hurlins on the season. Beat his ass this week. CJ Stroud outperformed Josh Allen. Jordan Mason sucks. But Jettis outperformed Chris Olave, and Brock Bowers outperformed Jake Ferguson. So I was pretty much better than you all week.
Yeah.
And then in our league,
yeah, for those of you that don't know, we played each other in fantasy in our actually like real fantasy football league, and Smallz ended up beating me. It ended up being 150 to 124. Yeah, it's just like I played Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Lamar Jackson. It's not
man,
not
that guy's team sounds good.
It's not my team put up 124. We tried. I have Jaden Daniels who did his thing. Chase Brown got into the end zone. Mike Evans was solid for me. He had 23 points. Jacoby Myers even had 13. Kyle Pitts had his best game ever. Had 15.8 and I lost.
Every player on my bench had over 15 as well, so you were just screwed.
What is the defense scoring in this league? Because how could the Patriots defense have an interception, 3 sacks, a forced fumble, a fumble reception, and a block what was it, a block punt, a block field goal?
They only gave up 15.
And only gave up 15, but only had 10 points as a defense? What? Dark is never our commissioner again. Ever. Never.
I'm not blaming you for the defenses, Dark. I don't like when there's defenses in fantasy leagues anyway, so I don't care about that. I started the Buccaneers who got shelled, so.
And then Bucky Irvin, from an actual real life performance, he was solid, but fantasy wise, he just wasn't very good. But we'll be all right. We fought a 3-2 on the season. We'll be all right though.
And we improved to 3-2.
It's all right. We move on to next week. We'll be fine.
Any of us who
we'll be in
the
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
Any of y'all who are Numbers of the Board fans, we appreciate y'all for coming over and rocking with us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they'll talk about it on their episode tomorrow. If they tell y'all that I only put up 42 points, don't listen to them. They're lying. I did not.
42 points?
They're lying.
I know the scoring in y'all's league is low, but 42 points? My goodness.
I haven't put up under 90
this season, right? Me fucking suited up in the NFL. I'm gonna put up 42 fucking fantasy points. What the fuck?
I haven't scored under 90 points yet, right? Sam Darnold gave me 4. Jordan Mason gave me 8. Aaron Jones gave me 6 and got hurt. Deontay Johnson gave me 4. I had to start Curtis Samuel.
Ugh. 42 points?
Malik Neighbors was my best player. Devontae Adams is my second best receiver. After them, I got Quentin Johnston and Romeo Dobbs. My 4 top receivers were all out. On top of that, my best player in Saquon was on bye.
Oh, no, fuck that.
No.
Let me speak because you want to talk about bye weeks and being out. We didn't mention this. I wasn't gonna mention it, but now you want to use it to let me speak. You're damn right. I have more than Saquon. In the league where I play Smallz, I had 3 of my best players out. Saquon Barkley, bye. Devonta Smith, he has a concussion, but it's still bye. And Jonathan Taylor, out. 3 of my best players, my top 2 picks, and Jonathan Taylor and Saquon Barkley didn't play. But go ahead.
I don't got nothing else to say. It was an unfortunate week for Team Smallz over there.
Yeah, for Team Hurls as well. Because I definitely saw you say weak after you ended up winning. Calling me weak, and then you added me in the league chat. I definitely saw it. And we'll see you again later in the season. Don't act like you didn't say it. Don't act like you didn't say it. Don't look lost.
He just talking, y'all. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
It's all right. Bet.
He just talking.
Before we get out of here, we got to make our Thursday night picks. Niners.
Holy crap! I forget about that every week. Dude.
Niners in Seattle.
Oh, I did ask you and say week. That's crazy. Why did I do that? I didn't even remember doing that. No. But
Niners in Seattle. We know how that the 12th man is over there, so it's gonna be rocking. We're probably gonna have to use a silent count. You know, the fan in me wants to pick the Niners. You know, I want to say we'll bounce back and we'll look better. But if I'm speaking with my head. You know, we're on a podcast now. I got to keep it real. I can't just be speaking as a Niners just biased fan. So
I know you're taking them.
I'm not.
You're taking the Seahawks?
I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks this Thursday against the Niners because I just think the Niners are the much better team, and the Seahawks, I'm taking them to get their asses wiped by the Niners. I'm taking the Niners this Thursday. You're damn right I'm taking them. Brock Purdy's going to have himself a hell of a game. The Niners are going to have themselves a hell of a game. We're going to bounce back, and we're going to get right in Seattle this Thursday, man. Go ahead with your prediction.
Regardless of who you picked, I was just going to take the opposite to have discretion.
So, no, you know what? Now I'm taking the Seahawks, so you take the Niners.
Oh, the arm of my chair just came off. What the fuck is that? Look, that.
All right, so I have the Niners. Smallz has the Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks.
All right.
Just because I want to. It'll be fun. It'll be a good game regardless. Nothing to hate against the Niners for, but I wanted you to pick the Niners so I could pick the Seahawks. Go okay. Gino.
Yeah, shout out Gino. He's been playing really well. But as we said at the top of the show, if there's no show on Friday, it's because I'm dealing with the hurricane and I probably don't have power. So I'll try to make something.
Keep anybody you love from Florida in your thoughts.
Suj, I know you're a Floridian. Kamari, if you're watching this, you're a Floridian as well. I hope you guys stay safe. To anybody that's affected, Morgan doesn't live in Florida. Morgan does not live in Florida. That's a fake friend.
Okay.
But to anyone living in Florida or anyone affected by the hurricane, I hope you stay safe. And if you're in an evacuation zone, please evacuate. Don't say I'm going down with my house. Please just evacuate. It's not worth it. But yeah, stay safe. Keep supporting.
We appreciate y'all for watching.
We're 3 away from 50. Like, subscribe, comment. What are you laughing at?
I thought you were talking episodes. I was like, no, the hell we aren't.
We uploaded shorts to the YouTube channel. The TikTok.
Load of those if you
I'll put it in the bio, or in the description. I said the bio, in the description. But I think that's it. Unless, Smallz, you have anything else you want to say? Other than that, we'll see you hopefully on Friday after a Niners win.
Niners loss.
Goodbye. Bye.